Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books, and I finished another one and I've almost finished another one as well actually. I've been reading like 3 books at the same time and they've all come to the end around about the same time. But so today's book is Blue Monday by Nicci French. This was such a good book. I'll admit it, I think I read it over a couple of weeks. I have been so busy lately with rehearsals and work and having 2 jobs and everything that finding time to read was a struggle. Fortunately my theatre shifts allow me to read when I'm not working on the inside, because there's not much to do while the show's going on when you're not inside the auditorium. But yeah, when the show's on and you're outside of the theatre and you're just waiting to hear if there's a show stop or if the fire alarm's going off, there's a lot of sitting around, so that allows to read. Anyway, I'll just get straight in with that blurb, shall I? Monday. 5-year-old Matthew Freida is abducted. His face is splashed across newspaper front pages. His parents and the police are desperate. Can anyone help find their little boy before it is too late? Psychotherapist Freida Klein might just know something. One of her patients describes dreams of seizing a boy who is the spitting image of Matthew. Convinced at first the police will dismiss her fears out of hand, Freida reluctantly finds herself drawn into the heart of the case. A previous abduction from 20 years ago suggests a new lead, one that only Freida, an expert on the minds of disturbed individuals, can uncover. This was so good and it was really fast paced. Like 5 pages in, you've got an abduction. A little girl is kidnapped. It starts off with the case from 20 years ago and then it jumps forward. This was published 2011, so yeah, over 10 years ago. This was the first in a series as well, and I'll admit I'm really intrigued to read the other Freida Klein stories, because the way this ended, it wasn't all neatly wrapped up in a bow. So I'm just like, I wonder if what happens in this book is revisited in a later book. I haven't done any research into that, so I don't know if that happens, but it'd be interesting if it does, because this isn't wrapped up completely at the end. Where to start with this one? But yeah, about 5 pages in, you're on the abduction from 20 years ago, when a little girl goes missing at a sweet shop and her sister feels incredibly guilty about everything. She seems to think she can remember something like a little flash of something, but she doesn't know what it is, and for the other book I kept thinking, is that little flash going to come back? And it never did, so it was a bit of a red herring really, that little flash of her thinking that she knew something. I accidentally spoiled this book to my mum, because she was saying that she wanted a book to read because she's going on holiday soon, and I told her quite a significant thing about the book, not realising how much of a spoiler it actually was. Because after I said this throwaway comment, and I was like, oh, you can read this, she's like, oh, but you've told me that now. And I was just like, really, it's not that much of a spoiler at this point. I think it comes out halfway through the book, but then it came back even more at the end, and it was just like, oh damn it, I've spoiled it more than I thought I did. But to be fair, at the time I didn't realise what I was doing. But yeah, there's a guy called Alan who goes to Freida saying that he has weird dreams, and he dreams of being with a child who has red hair and freckles, and you realise that the kid that he's describing matches the description of the child that has been kidnapped. The thing is, his dreams about the kid started before the kid was kidnapped, so you're just there going, how much does he know? Like, is he having like blackouts? Is he really the cause of all of this? And it's trying to work out where the dreams have come from, how his brain has been influenced into seeing the things that he sees in his dreams. And you realise that he had similar things around 20 years ago, around the time that the first kidnapping happened. And you're just there going, oh, there is something, there appears to be a connection to these 2 kidnappings that are 20 years apart, almost exactly. And you've got this guy, Alan, who's come in and said, yeah, well, I've had these dreams about kids before, and it all seems to match up with details that they haven't released properly, and they're just like, how does this guy know what's going on here? trying to figure out that connection was really, really interesting. It led to me partly spoiling the book to my mum when I didn't realise what I was doing. It was just so good, and I really feel like I can't talk that much about it just because of that significant spoiler, that because I'm not going to go into that, even though you find it quite early on. I don't think it's fair. I think you need to figure out for yourself and read it to find out what the connection is and to what is going through Alan's mind and how he's connected to the cases, because there were sometimes I was just thinking, is it him? Has he done it? Has he had blackouts? Because as far as he's concerned, and as far as his wife is concerned, he's just a gentle guy who's having really, really disturbing, weird dreams and is obsessed with having a child of his own. And at that point it's just like, is this got some sort of fantasy thing to it? Has this got a bit of a magic feel to it? Is this like a magical realism without it being explicitly that? Yeah, it's a really, really good mystery. It says a day for murder, but actually, when it all comes out, you realise that, well, actually even at the end of it, you're not even sure who is dead, because it puts a big question mark over everything. It's just like, were the kids who were kidnapped dead, or are they still with us? There does come a point when you are getting small snippets from the point of Matthew, the kid who was kidnapped, as he slowly turns into what somebody else is turning him into. Somebody is trying to make him forget his life as Matthew and turn him into a new life where he's called Simon. And it kind of gives you an idea about what might have happened to the girl at the beginning of the book. It's just like, was she manipulated in the same way to believe that she's somebody else, or was she killed, or like what has happened to her? And I'll admit, I did go down a bit of a red herring thinking, oh my god, is somebody in this book going to be someone completely different? And I was right and I was wrong, because I just was focusing on the wrong character. But yeah, this was an absolutely brilliant book. When you see how Freida gets involved with the police and how they're just like, we don't know how to present all this information to the public, because you're telling me that one of your clients has come to you as a therapist, is having dreams, and that is where we are getting all our information from. We cannot tell the public that we cannot tell the public that we are getting this information from a guy's dreams. And so Freida is there going like, I don't need any credit on this. I'm giving you the information that you need through my client. There comes a point when the house kind of crosses a bit of murky waters when it comes to the therapist-client relationship, when she realises what she's doing, and she's realising that she is using his dreams and instincts to find out what has happened to the kids that have been kidnapped. And so she manipulates him. She doesn't feel great about it, and when Alan realises what she's doing, he's just like, well, you tried it didn't work. Like, so much far the information I've given you is stuff that I volunteered. So manipulating me is not really going to help much, because I'm giving you everything I can. But yeah, well, I really want to kind of get the rest of them now. I did have a look on BorrowBox to see if it was on BorrowBox, but it wasn't. There are other independent Nicci French books, which I realised Nicci French is actually a husband-wife team. I think, I'm not sure if it says in here, but yeah, it's basically a pseudonym for a husband and wife team that work together, which is just so interesting. I've read books that have been authored by two people before, and I just think it's a really, really clever way to do stuff, where you can get two brains together to come up with a fantastical story. And yeah, it's just a really, really good mystery. If you like murder mysteries, you'll enjoy it. If you like mysteries, it's all set in England, it's set in London, so you've got that. And if you're looking for a new series to start, well, hello. Anyway, I'm getting hungry because I've just gotten home from work. I finished this at work today, which is why I wanted to get this out, which is why the lighting will be all weird, because it is dark and I've got lights and ring lights, but it'll probably still be a bit murky. But anyway, I need to wash my feet and go out for my dinner, because it is 8:05. I finished at 7:30 tonight. This isn't ridiculously late for my dinner. This is usually around about the time I have dinner, when I have a 7:30 finish. But yeah, Nicci French, Blue Monday. This was such a good book. Go read it. I'm not going to spoil anything for you this time, just because it's not fair to anybody. It is so good. Go read it. Go read it. Go read it. if you need a new series, go for it, because I definitely want to read the rest of them. I think they're on Amazon, so I might download the rest of the series to my Kindle, but I do have a gift voucher, so I could get the actual books as well. Anyway, the next person to read this is going to be my mum. The other book that I'm reading at the moment is Our Kind of Cruelty. That one's on BorrowBox. This was recommended to me on a kind of a gossip board type thing, where people talk about books, and it's by Araminta Hall. My God, talk about this book is going to be insane, because it is so, I say twisty-turny. It's just like, I really don't know where it's going to go. It's gone to a point where I've hated the main character all the way through, but I'm starting to question what I've read and what I know, and I'm just like, well, hang on a second. Is it going to come out that the girlfriend knows about everything? But yeah, I'll go into that when I do. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video. And yeah, stay safe. Bye.